In this video we are going to film this crazy black Ferrari 365 Daytona Spider. This is a 1 of 122 ever built. I don't want to scratch the car today because then I will be bankrupt. So let's get started. I'm gonna show you the whole process. Camera gear, camera settings. I will set up the gimbal vertical because the client wants a vertical reel for social media. I will show you my exact gimbal shots, the gimbal settings, some tips and tricks throughout the video. Real MVPs, watch the entire video, but you can also skip. I will drop the timestamps in the video. And at the end, we will also do the editing breakdown. That will be stabilizing the shots, color grading the shots, and adding some spice here and there to just make it perfect. So let's get started. For the camera gear, we are using our beloved Sony a7 IV with the Sony 24-70G Master Mark II lens. For the filter, I will be using the CPL filter from Freewell. This is a magnetic filter. This comes with like a ring that you can just simply screw on your thread from your lens, and then the filter will be magnetic, and it also comes with the lens cover, which is very nice to not scratch your lens. You just pop it on and then you can put it safely away. Then we've got our DJI RS4 gimbal. Let's put in the battery, we lock it, and we're going to use our tripod. Super easy for holding it for low angle or high angle shots, to just put it on the floor. Today we're going to shoot vertical. Client wants a vertical video from this beautiful Ferrari for the socials. So we will be changing the socket from horizontal right now to vertical. Simply open and change the socket. It's been a while that I have filmed something in vertical, so we also have to rebalance the gimbal, which should just take a couple of minutes. The socket on our camera comes with the DJI RS4. We slide it in and we close the lever here. Then we have the small rig briefcase handle. And then we're gonna put this onto the NATO clamp here, I think it's called. Make sure the screen is facing your side. Open the safety mechanism, slide it in, and then we're gonna screw it. But now it's already safe. But of course you want to tighten the screw, and then we do the same here. Here we have the small rig briefcase handle and the port keys LH7P. You can mount it just horizontal, but because we are shooting vertical, we're simply gonna mount it vertical. We don't need any accessories to mount it vertical. That's a super nice feature from this monitor screen. And then we slightly tighten so we can still tilt it up and down. Then we're gonna use our port keys ultra thin cable. I will drop all the links of all the products that I'm using here in the description box below so you can check it out. And there we go. Now let's balance the gimbal. We want to make sure that our lens is somewhere in the middle, and we also want to set it to tight. Otherwise, when we tilt it up, the lens will drop. And we also want to make sure we have our filters on. And battery, of course, also. Then I'm just gonna position it just like this, and I'm gonna lock all the axes. Now let's balance the gimbal. Let's put a timer as we did last time. I don't know how long it will take because it's been so long ago that I balanced the gimbal vertical. I'm guessing that it's gonna take me 2.5 minutes. So let's hit start. So we're gonna start with the tilt up. I'm gonna unlock this one. So we want it to be like this balanced and then like this balanced. So let's first start with this one. This is good. Then this one, I want to open this one right here and then with the knob. So here we also want it to stand like this without falling forward or backwards. This almost looks good, just a little bit more forward. Then it will be perfect. Just like this. So now it stands like this, and it should also stand like this. Here we need small adjustment. So now it stands like this, and like this. Perfect. We're gonna lock this one, and we go to the roll axis. We open it here, you see, poof, it's falling over. So we have to move it to the right. When it falls left, when it falls right, you want to move it to the left. So this is perfect. We lock it, then we go to the pen, the last one, and we're gonna lock this one. There we go. Then I put it on the two handles right here, and I'm gonna roll it sideways. Just a little bit. And then usually I just keep it like this. This is perfect. We are done. 2 minutes 11 from horizontal to vertical, and then we turn it on. We hit the M plus trigger button for 2 seconds, and it will auto-calibrate, just like this. This just takes 5 seconds. I have my deadband to medium, and I have my movement speed to slow. When I'm making basic B-roll shots just like this one, I have my movement speed to slow, and when I'm filming car roller shots, for example, I will put it to medium or even fast, depending of what we're gonna do exactly. So camera setup is done. Then for the camera settings, let's show it so you can see it. Image quality, 5 file format, let's film in HD. I get a lot of questions of people asking me, with the Sony a7 IV, if you film in 4K 60 frames per second, do you mind the crop, the 1.5 crop? I have never cared about the 1.5 crop. There was never a single issue for this crop. And some people also ask me, is HD good enough? Some cameras don't have 60 frames per second 4K, they only have 60 frames per second in HD. I'm gonna prove you today that HD is just perfect for social media. So we're gonna shoot in HD today. Movie settings 60p, 60 frames per second, 422. Shutter speed is 1/125, f-stop 2.8, and ISO depends from shot to shot. The lighting here is at 5,600 kelvins. Also, the Amaran f22 are both set to 5,600 kelvins. But I'm gonna put my camera to 4,600 Kelvin because I slightly want the colder, cleaner look. That's it for the camera settings. Also, I get asked almost every single day, do you keep your IBIS, your in-body stabilization from the camera to off, on, or steady, active? I always have it to standard mode. I have tested everything. When I put it off, I will still have micro jitters. And when I turn it on active, like steady shot, it will sometimes warp and you will have another crop in your shots. So just standard mode. And my phone is set to do not disturb. For the opener shot, Nick, the camera guy, is gonna hide here in the car and he's gonna turn a knob like this while we are making an orbit-like movement. Nick, be my guest. Hide. So now we're in pen, follow only. Yeah. Add. An edit wouldn't be an edit without the Ferrari badge. So for that one, I'm gonna pull it to 70 millimeters. We want the logo in frame, and with the LH7P, I can just tap the screen and it's nicely in focus. So what are we going to do? We're gonna make a simple orbit shot. The downside about shooting in HD is that you have less wiggle room for cropping in later. Then let's take a shot from the rim. So we go from tilted up. We orbit, tilt down. And it gives that shimmer look. Let's take a shot, another shot from the rim. Pen, follow only. Just gonna keep the rim in the middle of the frame, and then we're just gonna orbit around. I also saw a cool shot here. Gonna set it to pen, follow only. I'm gonna touch to focus to make sure we're in focus. And then we keep the light in the middle, and we sort of reveal the side from the car. I get a lot of questions of people asking me if I use some sort of tracking system, like the LiDAR system, but I don't. I've never used it. Once you have your gimbal shots under control, once you have mastered your shots, they're actually pretty easy. If you have a good stance, you take a couple of shots back and forth, there's always gonna be a good one. Just make sure you make the shot until you are happy with the shot. If you don't know which shots to take, just keep the most essential shots in mind, which are the simple push-in shots and the super simple orbit shots. So let's take an orbit shot here from the headlight. We keep the headlight in the middle of the frame and we walk away in an orbit circular motion. So we're in 24 millimeters here. Headlight is in the middle of the frame. I'm gonna start my shot early so we can chop it up later if necessary. And starting your shot early will give the gimbal the time to start to activate, because it's always in the deadband mode, and then poof. Hups, I just noticed myself here in the mirror, in the reflection of the car. So let's see if we can get rid of ourselves, but probably not. So to get rid of our own reflection, I'm gonna pull out my best gymnastics here. Oh, fuck. Cramps. Let's make it happen. So, middle of the thing. Yeah, that's perfect actually. That one looked good. We're gonna take one like this. We want some foreground elements here. The mirror. Note, there we don't have a mirror. Here we have one. We're gonna use the mirror as a foreground element. We're in pen follow only. Then we introduce the foreground element, and maybe we can reverse it in post. So we have some sort of reveal shot. Let's also try a shot here. I'm gonna set to 70 millimeters. Make a tilt up movement. For some interior shots, we're gonna use a light tube. This is the Nanlite Pavo Tube 230C. Let's put it here. Let's see what we can come up with. So we're gonna shoot from that side. So for this shot, we're going to make a shot from the poke. Again, we're in pen follow only. We're gonna keep it in the middle of the frame with some foreground element. We're in 70 millimeters. In the editing part of this video, I will show you how I get ultra smooth shots here in post-production. I will show you how I color grade the videos, super simple, quick and easy. I will show you how I mask and use vignette to draw more attention to the car. I will show you also how I reframe some of the shots to get perfect framing. And I will also show you how I use dynamic zoom to spice up the edits. It's a very simple process, so stick with me. But first I want to invite you, if you want to become the best automotive filmmaker, you want to know exactly how I film cars, how I edit cars, and if you want to join live calls with internet's biggest automotive creators, you can join the #1 automotive filmmakers community. You can try it completely for free. Check the link in the description. We are working in Davinci Resolve, and to get this vertical aspect ratio user interface, you can make a new timeline, untick this box, format, and check vertical resolution, and then you can create this vertical timeline. I did already chop up my shots and match them to the music. I have several other videos where I showcase this full process, and I reversed some of the shots. For example, this one is actually like this, but for the edit I want it reverse. You can either just tick this box or use minus before your speed number here, and that will give us the reversed shot. For some other shots, I slowed down the footage and I reversed it, so the minus 50 means that it's reversed speed, as you can see here, and the 50 is a percentage of speed. So we reduce the speed by half, so 50% of the original speed. That looks like this. We did the same for this shot, for this shot, for this shot, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one is not reversed. So that's the power of post-production. You can reverse it and slow it down. Let's do the color grading part. We're going to the color page, and then I'm gonna open the gallery and power grade. I always use my power grade here. I have some other videos showing the exact process node by node. Or if you want the shortcut to success and get the power grade, you can check the link in the description. What I always do is I start with white balance, then I check exposure, vignette, gradient, and if necessary I will have to manipulate some colors, which won't be necessary in this video. We can close the gallery section here. We're gonna start with white balance, so it looks a little bit too cold for me personally. We go to effects, and then here I'm gonna use the Kelvin slider to slide it left to get it colder, or to drag it to the right to get it a little bit warmer. For me, this looks good. Now for the exposure part, I'm gonna keep it as is right now. We might have to come back and change it later. Gonna zoom it out a little bit. We go to vignette. This will darken the outside part of the circle here, drawing more attention towards the car, but I might want to reposition it or reshape it. And I'm gonna make it a little bit less aggressive because now it's just a little bit too much. So something like this looks better. Then the gradient is going to darken the bottom part of the frame here, again to draw more attention towards the car, but it's a little bit too aggressive for me, so we can just soften it out and bring it more downwards. Then I'm gonna hit Shift S to bring another node in between, and I'm simply gonna copy this one and paste it here. And that's because I want to get rid of the ceiling here. So I'm just gonna change the gradient and put it on top. So then we have covered this part to draw, again, more attention towards the car. Now I'm gonna do one more thing. I'm gonna put another node in between here. Oh, I'm gonna make a vignette over the car here. Soften it out, and then I'm gonna reverse it so we only affect the inside, and then I'm going to HDR and I'm gonna slightly add some exposure here in the global wheel. But I see we have to actually reverse it just like this. And as you can see right away, this looks already better. You can change it however you like until you feel like it looks good. Then what I usually do here is I copy the grade from this one, but I'm gonna delete these specific vignette and gradient. And then we're gonna just start again. Step by step, we check the exposure, vignette and gradient. Exposure actually looks pretty good, and if necessary, we can slightly bump it up, just like this. This already looks good, but I might want to change the vignette here so that it doesn't darken too much here. I only wanted to slightly darken the part there. So it's just a little bit, but it gets the job done. Although I might just lower the offset to darken it just a little bit more. As you can see, this is too much, so somewhere here looks perfect. And then for the gradient, I'm gonna hit set to fit the frame. I'm gonna maybe just do it something like this, so it matches
the part here. Just a little bit, so that looks nice. And then we're going to do the same for all the other shots. I hit Command and I click and apply. Great. Replace, check. Let's fix the vignette first. Something like this, just not too much. And here I want it again on the bottom of the frame. So something like this looks good. Before, after, before, after, just a little bit. Then we want to fix exposure here. What I'm gonna do is set the gamma back to 0, and then we're gonna up the exposure. This already looks okay. Maybe just a little bit too much, because I'm gonna add another vignette here to boost the exposure of the rim. We're gonna do that again with the vignette here, with the window. We make it somewhere the shape of the rim. We are going to HDR and up the exposure here. So this looks nice. And if we want, we can simply track this window. You go here and then you go this one, and then it will follow exactly. Although this shot didn't have much movement, but still, if you want to do that for a shot that moves a little bit more, this is very useful, and then your window will follow the rim or any other subject. We can move over to the next one. The vignette, let's put it here. The gradient, let's put it here, following this line right here. If you want, you can add another one there, but I like the contrast here. For this shot, I'm gonna up the exposure a little bit because it looks pretty dark. So something like this already looks much better. Gonna fix, the gradient is in a good location, and the vignette as well is very, very subtle. That's okay. For this one, I'm gonna reposition the vignette again, and the gradient, let's see. Let's just put it on the bottom, but very subtle, not too much, just a little bit. This shot, we're gonna check our vignette position again. We'll make it slightly smaller. Like this looks good. And again, here I'm gonna put it on the bottom of the frame, something like this. Here I'm just gonna copy this grade. That will already bring back our vignette at a good location, and the gradient as well. For this shot, that actually looks good. Yeah, looks nice. And for this one, let's make sure to get rid of this part. Change the gradient location. Slightly gonna soften it out. Now let's make these shots ultra smooth. As you can see, there is a wiggle here and there, but we can easily get rid of those. I got a few super simple techniques for that. The easiest one, this already looks like a good shot. Just a little bit of extra stabilization. We go to stabilization in the inspector tab. We set it to translation, and we hit the smooth to somewhere at 0.06-ish. We hit stabilize, and that's perfect. For the next shot here, we might just want to do the same. Stabilize. If it's not toggled on, simply toggle it on. Stabilize. And poof, that should look perfect. Let's see. We're gonna do the same. That looks good. And for this shot, we want to have it ultra smooth on the logo here. For example, if this doesn't work perfectly, it's not perfect. It's 90% there, so I'm gonna turn it off. And then I'm going to the Fusion page, Shift Command Spacebar, planar tracker. Then we can zoom in a little bit, and we're gonna make a circle. Make sure it's closed around our object. We hit translation here, set, and then we go left and right, and then we're gonna hit stabilize. And then it's gonna be ultra smooth. Now you will see here it zooms in because it tracks here the object, and you might have some black borders here. As you can see here, you can get rid of them just by zooming in, and I want to make sure it's in the middle of the frame. For this one, I'm gonna use the basic stabilizer here. For this one, already looks good, but I want to keep this poke exactly in the middle. So again, we go to planar tracker, something like this, translation, set left, right, and stabilize, and poof, it's like magic. Again, we're gonna check the borders. You can see here a small border, so you can simply zoom in or use dynamic zoom to get rid of the borders. This is already smooth, but anyway, I'm gonna add this translation stabilize just to make it even better. Same here. So this shot, I want to do a point tracker stabilizer, meaning it will follow exactly one specific point. So let's set a point to where Davinci knows where it can track, usually a corner or somewhere with some contrast point. So here it can exactly figure out, okay, this is the point that I need. Don't put it somewhere in the middle here because it doesn't see the difference. Here it's clear, a nice corner, simple. Then we set to best match, left, right, and then operation, match move, background, BG only. It's not perfect. I see a little jitter here. We're gonna just do it again. Let's try another point, for example, this one here. We go back to tracker, match move, best match, I mean, track left and right, match move, BG only, and then poof, this is ultra smooth. This looks good. Again, some of the borders here, make sure they are gone, something like this. And then this last shot looks already pretty clean. But let's try the planar tracker over the car to get it ultra smooth. Let's see what it does. Translation, set left, right, and then stabilize. And this is the result. Now I do want to slightly change the framing of my car. You can see the car is slightly off to the left. So I'm gonna zoom in just a little bit and then bring it to the right. That looks much better. And you can see here the border, but we're gonna fix that now in another way with a dynamic zoom. So a dynamic zoom will subtly zoom in or zoom out your shot from start to finish. So usually I turn it on and I swap it. This way it zooms in and not out. So here you can see it's zooming in. And if you don't swap it, it will zoom out. But anyway, this is a push-in shot, so you don't really see it clearly. And this is the result. Then I'm gonna do this for a few other shots, and that's it. If you want to know exactly how I filmed and edited this Ferrari video, make sure to watch this video next, because I will do the full breakdown, start to finish.